Welcome to our Wednesday Wellness webinar series, and today we're going to talk about spiritual wellness, practices to protect and nurture your energy. Let's begin with a little bit of grounding. This is so we can be fully open to learning. Sit comfortably straight with your feet flat on the floor. First, just notice your weight on your seat. Feel the solidness the seat provides to your body. Now, I want you to identify what you can hear. Next, what can you smell? Good. Now take in a deep breath through your nose if you can, and exhale slowly through the mouth. Just as physical hygiene keeps the body clean and healthy, spiritual hygiene keeps our inner world balanced, resilient, and aligned. For those of us who support others, especially in emotionally intense environments, it's easy to carry energy, emotions, or worries that aren't even ours. Spiritual hygiene helps us release, ground, and reset so we can stay steady, compassionate, and well. When we talk about spiritual, we're not talking about religion or belief systems, although those are important too, and many of the techniques we're covering today can be included in spiritual or religious practices. But we're talking about our energy, our emotional state, and our sense of groundedness. Spiritual hygiene is the practice of clearing out emotional buildup, grounding our energy, reconnecting with our values, and strengthening our boundaries. It supports mental health, emotional intelligence, and our overall well-being. Some common experiences that muddy our energy include overstimulation, toxic environments, emotional labor, and overgiving. Some of those symptoms might include feeling foggy, heavy, or unmotivated, being easily irritated or drained by others, being disconnected from joy, purpose, or your intuition, and even trouble sleeping or processing emotions. Let's talk about the 3 core elements of spiritual hygiene. When we don't have spiritual hygiene routines, we may notice things like feeling drained or heavy, taking home emotions that aren't ours, feeling scattered or overstimulated, difficulty letting go after challenging interactions, maybe even increased irritability or compassion fatigue. Spiritual hygiene creates a protective buffer for you. It helps us show up with clarity, compassion, and steadiness without absorbing everything around us. So these 3 core elements are clearing. This is what's releasing what isn't yours and letting go of that emotional residue. And that might look like releasing stress from conversations, tension in your body, or energy you absorbed during visits. Another element is grounding. This is bringing yourself back into your body and the present moment so you feel stable and supported. And then the last core element is protecting. This is where we're setting an energetic and emotional boundary before entering challenging environments. Think of it sort of like a shield of intention. You can use any of these daily cleansing rituals to release what you may have picked up throughout your day. Light and release. This can take anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. We're just lighting a candle or glancing at a virtual flame. And you inhale deeply, and then you exhale while silently releasing that stress, the tension, or emotional clutter. And then when you feel like you have released, you blow the candle out with gratitude. Very simple. We also have something called a water rinse, and this takes about 1 to 3 minutes. You're simply just washing your hands or splashing cool water on your face. And as that water flows, just imagine any negativity dissolving. If you've had a particularly challenging experience during the day, maybe hop in the shower. And as the water flows over you, picture all of the negative energy sliding off your body and into the drain. We also have a breath reset. This takes about 90 seconds. You're just going to inhale for 4, hold it for 2, exhale for 6, and then you just repeat it 5 times. So again, that is inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Just visualize fog leaving with each exhale. And then we have the practice of tapping, or EFT. Now, we have a much more in-depth video on tapping, and you can also use this for many other things, not just your daily cleansing ritual. And then brushing. Brushing takes about 1 minute, and this is just literally brushing it off your body, from your shoulders to your hands, down the front of your body. Let's talk about daily grounding rituals. These are ideal whenever you feel scattered, overwhelmed, overstimulated, or just pulled in too many directions. Grounding literally means coming back into the present moment through your body. So you can do a practice called rooting into the earth, and this is where you place both feet firmly on the floor, preferably outdoors where you can feel dirt or grass on your toes. You want to imagine roots, your roots from your feet extending downward into the earth. And you say something like, I am steady, I am supported, I am here. There's also the warm cup meditation. This is where you're just holding a warm beverage and feeling that temperature in your hands. With every exhale, imagine melting tension downward. And then we have the sensory anchor. Now, you can choose something like something with texture, or noticing 5 colors around you, slowly inhaling a scent that you love. Each sensory signal brings you back into the present moment. Water actually instantly engages multiple senses. We have temperature, texture, sound, and this pulls us out of the rumination and back into the now. Water also absorbs and carries energy away, which is why we also use it for clearing. Water regulates the nervous system, so cool or cold water engages the vagus nerve and signals the body to shift toward calm, rest, and presence. Warm water relaxes muscles and helps release tension. So water becomes a grounding tool both emotionally and biologically. Just as in clearing, you can simply splash cold water on your face or wash your hands. You can also take a slow drink of water and notice the sensation of it moving down into your throat and settling into your body. Listening to water also works, whether a fountain, a sink, bathwater, or a stream. Just let that steady rhythm ground you and your breath as you listen. Let's talk about sound smudging. You're probably familiar with smudging in the form of burning sage or other herbs to remove stagnant, heavy, or unwanted energy from either a person, a room, or an object. But there is a smoke-free form of smudging, and that is sound. Sound smudging is the intentional use of sound to break up heavy energy, clear emotional residue from a space, reset the energetic tone of a room, protect your own energy before or after a difficult encounter, and to create grounding and calm in chaotic environments. Sound carries vibration, and vibration moves, shifts, and transforms energy. This is one of the practices that may coincide with religious or spiritual practices that we mentioned earlier. Sound smudging is great when you want to clear the energy after a heavy home visit, or reset between clients, prepare your workspace for the day. Maybe even transition from work mode into home mode, recentering yourself after emotional conversations, and to create a calming atmosphere before a meeting or training. Some of the forms of sound smudging can be bells or chimes, high clean tones that will quickly break up heavy or dense energy. Singing bowls, you can use crystal or metal. These create sustained tones that wash through a space and create harmony. Tuning forks, these are precise frequencies that help shift emotional or environmental imbalance. There's also drumming, and this is a rhythmic vibration that grounds and resets the nervous system. And then clapping or snapping, maybe not something that you would think of, but it's a simple, accessible way to break up stagnant pockets of energy, especially in corners. And also your voice. Toning, humming, chanting, your own vibration can be a powerful clearing tool. So to do a simple sound smudging ritual for a space, first you want to set your intention. For example, you can say, I am clearing this space for calm and safety. You want to start at the entrance. This helps establish a pathway in and out for that energy. And then you want to move clockwise around the room. So gently ring a bell, play the bowl, clap, or tone as you walk. And then pay extra attention to corners, doorways, and behind furniture. These areas hold energy the longest. And then you want to end in the center of the room and let the sound fade. And when you are done, take a grounding breath. We also have emotional reset rituals. You want to use these when you're carrying emotions that aren't yours or your emotions need attention. We have the emotional sweep. This is when you write down what you're feeling unfiltered. Circle what actually belongs to you. Draw a line through what doesn't. And then just tear the paper up, release it, get rid of it. We also have the frequency shift. This can take anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes. So you want to play music that resets your mood, maybe grounding drums, a calming piano, uplifting vocals, or nature sounds. And then we also have the compassion hand to heart ritual. This is where you're just going to place your hand over your chest and you just say to yourself, this is a moment of humanity. I offer myself kindness. And we also have daily protection rituals. There's visualization, intention setting, saying no or limiting exposure to things, wearing something like a token. You can choose a small object to symbolize protection, like a bracelet, stone, pin, keychain, etc. Crystals have been used across cultures for centuries as symbols of strength, grounding, clarity, and protection. Whether or not someone believes in their metaphysical properties, crystals can serve as tangible reminders of what we want to cultivate, like calm, boundaries, or resilience. Holding a grounding stone like hematite or smoky quartz activates your sense of touch and helps bring the nervous system back into balance. The stone becomes a physical cue to pause, breathe, and reset. If you are new to crystals, a simple first exercise could be: choose a stone, hold it in your hand, and notice the weight, the temperature, the texture, the edges, and even the color. Set an intention like, I am grounded and protected as I support others today. Take a grounding breath, inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. Again, you inhale deeply and exhale slowly. There's a massive amount of information available on crystals, their meaning, and symbolism and rituals. We highly encourage you to explore those deeper. Some other suggested practices: a clearing ritual after challenging visits or emotional conversations, a grounding ritual when you feel overwhelmed or scattered, a protection ritual before entering homes, meetings, or intense environments, a closing ritual at the end of your day to separate work you do from the person you are. Keep in mind that these practices create a pause between you and the world. That pause helps you shift from reacting to responding, which is the space where values live. Much of what clouds us isn't ours at all, like other people's fears, emotions, and pressures. By clearing out all of that clutter, we're able to hear our own inner voice again. It also regulates the nervous system, which is so important personally and professionally because a dysregulated nervous system makes it hard to act from our values. We shift into survival mode, fixing mode, people-pleasing, perfectionism, conflict avoidance, and hyper-productivity. By calming the nervous system, we're able to choose compassion, honor boundaries, act with integrity, stay aligned with our purpose, and make decisions rooted in wisdom, not urgency. While we've only touched on a few of the techniques today that you can use to tend to your spiritual energy, we hope this session will prompt you to explore more. The most important factor in spiritual wellness is that the techniques resonate for you. Try multiple methods until you find the ones you love. You'll be more motivated to use them if you enjoy them. For some, that may mean only evidence-based techniques. For others, it may become an exciting path of learning new and alternative techniques. Just be open and curious, knowing that whatever you land on, you're doing it for your own well-being, which in turn allows you to effectively support others. Spiritual hygiene is not a luxury. It's necessary maintenance for people who care deeply and give deeply. You deserve routines that protect your well-being and help you stay grounded in who you are. Think of it as tending your inner garden. When you're clear and grounded, you can bring more presence, compassion, and steadiness to the people you support.